Alright guys, okay, so we're back with the second part of Shadowrun. This is the default campaign, or the starter campaign that you get with it. So, let's continue this. Your plane hits the SeaTac tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in a cramped back seat of a cab, following signals from Sam's locator chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders, a local chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for Nguyen, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. It seems that this is where Sam's body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. So there we go, let's do this. New objective. Ask the coroner about Sam. Anything to... Oh, someone's in the back. Here we go. The smell of death and decomposition washes over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial-grade antiseptic. I will apologise, I've only been awake for a little bit and the coffee has not kicked in yet. Here we go, is this Dresden? Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf, whistling a tune. His broad grin says, "I love my job," a little more than you'd want or expect from someone in the chop shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it might just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour. And some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, sir? You the coroner? I'm John Dresden, Organ Grinders branch manager. So yeah, that makes me this franchise area's coroner too. And you are? I'm going to be honest. Hopeless. I represent a man named Sam Watts, and I'm here to look into his murder. Interesting. A dead man makes for a strange client. But what makes you think he's here? Sam had a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here. I see. Well, you're right. He's here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though. The press haven't caught wind of it. And what with it being all the way out here in the Barrens. So who told you he was dead? Ooh. Sounded. When his heart stopped, 100,000 yen was wired to a secure account in my name. I find the killer, I get paid. The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. Dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here. Oh yeah. I really wouldn't mind exploring. Anything? He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third was downtown. Emerald City Ripper. Not my title. That's what the Seattle press insists on calling the killer. All I know is that like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel. But this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim. What price did the Ripper take from Sam? Watts' liver was cleanly cut out. How about the other lucky contestants? The first victim's heart was missing, and the third had the spleen removed. Dresden, get out of here. Ooh. What's going on out here? A little bit of searching. Basic medkit. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet. His face is an ashen white, for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest, there's a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him, and they took it. Next to Sam are several plastic envelopes containing the evidence found on his body. You can examine the evidence through the bag without spoiling it. I always find it easier to go from top to bottom, so look at the business card. Get my tea as well. Moving things around, you can make out that it's a card from a place called the Seamstresses Union. There is something handwritten on the back, but the blood makes it illegible. Cred stick. It's a standard cred stick. Cheap, unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. Take the cred. Sorry, my throat's playing up a little bit. You slot the cred stick into the PDA. 300 is added to your account. Let's look at his shirt. Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing and blood has thoroughly soaked it. The bag sloshes a bit in your hand. You can only see part of the note, given the torn off bits and blood stains. Sam, I feel terrible that we have been long to say I'm sorry. See you there. Love, Jessica. Interesting. Let's see who this guy is. Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of central casting. If you ignore the tusks, pointed ears, and Neanderthal brow, you can smell his cheap aftershave from a mile away. So this new Ripper Vic, what's? Name's familiar? Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? The coroner frowns. So you insisted at the time? He chortles. Come on, she offed herself. I had it on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. This Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge. I've already posted everything I know. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed, with a slim hand that knows its way around a scalpel. He has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy too. So I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon. Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who will use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from a military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado. You know, damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You note his superhuman powers of observation. Who the hell are you? Ah, so here we go. If I had more strength, I could be threatening. I'm the nobody who didn't hear of nothing. I'm new in town. Are you the detective on this case? I was hired by Sam Watts to assist you in finding his killer. The direct you were. You get anywhere near my investigation, it'll be on a stab for you, Elf. Get me more. I'm putting someone in a cell or a box this week and claiming my promotion. What a delightful fellow. Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? I'm great at dinner parties too. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me. You're really going to work for the dead man? Sam was there when I needed him. I'm going to return the favour. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 yen a week in his paycheck. Plus, he's on the take. Dresden pauses, considering. You have honour, after a fashion. I try to honour the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help you? On the take? I don't know, but someone with major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. What was that McCluskey said about Sam's mother? The official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago. Aren't you the official in that sentence? My name's on the report, but my actual findings left some doubts. I can't say that it wasn't suicide, but there were unusual bruises on her upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I drop it. What are organs worth these days? A whole healthy body can be worth a bunch of yen, but individual organs not worth as much anymore. And what with the synth and the cyber stuff on the market these days, Organ Grinders only deals in the recently deceased. There's plenty of other chop shops that aren't as picky though. And they don't care where the bodies come from either. Who still uses scalpels? Doctors still learn how to use them in their first year of medical school, as do coroners. But neither profession uses them much anymore. It's possible some of the similar chop shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look. Where was the Seamstresses Union? It's a nearby club in the Barrens that attracts lowlifes. You'd probably like it. Me, I'm not really the going out type. Always too much to be done around here. Plus, the dead are just easier to get along with. I just need to know one thing. Where was Sam killed? Karma gained, 2. Ooh. Dresden looks up at you intently for a moment before speaking. You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers in the back? See if you find anything useful. Okay, I'll do that. Where are these body lockers? Oh, there. The cold storage drawer is labelled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. The cold storage drawer opens to reveal the fully clothed body of a man. Arms folded across his chest, in addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen. The body seems to be in very good condition. Whoa there! In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. You spot a data jack drilled into his temples and some shamanistic tattoos peeking over his collar. An interesting combination. This name seems familiar to me and I can't think why. Anyway, I'm sure he'll pop back in. I told John to wake me at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 yet? It doesn't feel like 6. Sorry, didn't expect you to be so... alive? Yeah, Dresden thinks he's pretty funny. You're not the first person he's pulled this on. He chuckles. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I noticed you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? The last Ripper victim. Sam, eh? Glad somebody cares. We used to drink together, every now and then. Over at the Union. Decent enough guy, always in trouble over something or other, though. Jake yells towards the other side of the room. John, is this guy cool? Yeah, he's on the level. Working for Sam, believe it or not. Some sort of dead man switch. I thought you could help him out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Thanks for volunteering me. He pauses. Might be sizing you up, but it's hard to tell behind those shades. Alright then. Name's Jake, and you are... Call me Hopeless. Nice to meet you. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here. John's right, I may be able to help you. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder. Poor guy. He was hanging at the Seamstresses' Union that night. Tipped out and rowdy. I'd been laying low there for a few days, after a bad run. Miss Kabuto asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But out in the alley, some gangers got the jump on me. He winces. Damn, maybe I need some soy calf after all. John, can you grab me a cup? Get your own damn cup. My hands are dirty anyway. Now what's wrong with this intestine? You hear a loud squelching sound as Dresden continues his work. There's something about this dwarf that I really like. I just can't put my finger on it. Thanks, John, you're a real pal. Anyway, here's a big fat cork bounty on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got the jump on us. Damn gangers thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles, and you get the impression that didn't work out so well for the gangers. Sam stumbled off during the fight, though, and that's the last I saw of him. Until he turned up here. Dead on arrival. Reminds me of my last stay in this place. You've done this before? It's a long story. I end up in the morgue more often than the average guy. Yeah, Jake's a regular. Should have started a rewards card, Jake. A few more visits and you'd get a free night's stay. Jake laughs. I'll hold you to that, John. Anyway, they found Sam's body less than a block away from the Union, missing liver and all. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. The leader's got the whole gang searching in the barrens for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit these streets alone at night. Trust me. Jake eyes you up and down. Maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What do you say? It's nice to have someone watching your back out there, assuming you can trust them. I get it. Gotta be careful in this trade. I'm not one to go back on a deal, though. John can vouch for that. Plus, you know where I'm hiding out, right? It doesn't leave me a lot of room to sell you out. What do you say? I do like a bit of street justice every now and then, Jake. Count me in. Great. I've been hiding out here ever since that run-in with those Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangers. But this stretch of the Barrens is their turf. Hell, I'm surprised you even made it to this Morgue in one piece. Without packing some heat. He goes over his shoulder. Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in a dumpster tomorrow. So, you need a wedding? Ooh, what do I want? I can't remember what I chose for my skills. Pistol. Thank Christ. Give me a pistol. My weapon of choice as well. Here, take this one. So, ready for an evening out on the town? Just a minute, tell me some more about these gangers. They're one of the nastier gangs in town. The symbol is a flaming jack-o'-lantern, but you wouldn't like their version of trick-or-treating very much. Around here, they're led by a troll named John Paul. I don't know why I find that funny. He's got all the Halloweeners in the Barrens looking for me. We take him out, maybe I can breathe a bit easier. I'm ready. I'll follow your lead. The Halloweeners aren't looking for you. Yet. We can leave whenever you're ready. Okay, well, it's a little bit, dock, wagon, basic trauma kit. Medkit. Okay. Wow. Let's spend a little bit of karma. I've got 2 karma. What to choose? Let's come on, decking. I need one more. Actually, let's make the drone a little bit more accurate. I think that's a good one. Okay. So there's me, Hopeless, coolest elf in the Morgue, and there's Jake, who for some reason seems really familiar, but I can't think why. So, let's save that here. Oh god. Can you save it there? I think it auto-saves at each level. So, I'm going to call it there, just because, quite frankly, I've got to go to work in a bit, so, we're going to head out into the Barrens, and if you enjoyed this, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.